Bruce Lee, the man, the legend, the dragon. You've probably witnessed Bruce Lee dismantling opponents in mere seconds, but what exactly made him so extraordinary? Today, we're diving deep into Bruce Lee's most mind-blowing techniques from his iconic dragon fight. Stick around until the end because we're about to reveal the secret moves that made him utterly unstoppable. 1. The sidekick, devastating force. First up, the sidekick, a seemingly straightforward strike, but when Bruce unleashed it, it became a force of nature. His speed and raw power turned this simple kick into a devastating weapon. Imagine standing face to face with Bruce and, in the blink of an eye, being hit with a kick that felt like a cannon blast. His sidekick was so strong, it could shatter boards, break bones, and overwhelm opponents in seconds. But it wasn't just raw strength. Bruce's precision was surgical. He didn't just kick aimlessly. He targeted critical areas like the ribs or solar plexus, ensuring that his opponents were left breathless, gasping for air. He mastered the art of maximizing damage with the least amount of effort. Fun fact, Bruce's kicks were so fast, filmmakers had to slow down the footage just so audiences could actually see them. 2. The 1-inch punch, small but explosive. Next, we have the legendary 1-inch punch. How could Bruce generate such tremendous power with so little movement? The secret was in his flawless technique, focus, and an unparalleled understanding of body mechanics. From a mere inch away, Bruce could launch a punch that sent grown men flying across a room. It wasn't just martial artists who were stunned by this move. Even scientists were baffled by the sheer force Bruce could deliver with such minimal effort. The 1-inch punch wasn't about brute strength. It was about mastery of energy, focus, and precision. 3. The lightning-fast roundhouse kick. Let's move on to one of Bruce's signature moves, the roundhouse kick. While many martial artists incorporate this technique, Bruce's version was in a league of its own. What set it apart? His blinding speed and impeccable timing. Most fighters need time to set up their roundhouse kick, but Bruce? He could throw it in an instant, leaving opponents zero chance to defend themselves. His leg would whip around with such velocity that by the time the strike connected, usually to the head or torso, his opponents would already be out cold. Bruce's roundhouse was clocked at an incredible 72 miles per hour. The elusive footwork, movement like a ghost. What made Bruce Lee nearly untouchable? His footwork. In the dragon fight, Bruce moved like a shadow, fluid, fast, and impossible to predict. His dynamic movement style made him a constant threat. An opponent struggled to land a single hit. Bruce merged elements of Western boxing with traditional martial arts, developing a unique rhythm that kept him constantly on the move. He could change direction in a split second, creating openings to strike while leaving his opponents confused and vulnerable. His footwork wasn't just about dodging hits. It was a strategic dance of destruction. 5. The intercepting fist, anticipating every move. One of Bruce Lee's core philosophies was to intercept the opponent's intention before they could even act. This concept birthed the intercepting fist, a technique where Bruce would strike the moment his opponent began to move, cutting off their attack before it could be fully executed. With lightning-fast reflexes and an uncanny ability to read his opponents, Bruce mastered the art of being one step ahead in every fight. This wasn't just about speed, it was about awareness. He could sense an attack coming before it even started, and counter with such speed that his opponents often didn't realize they'd been hit until they were on the ground. Bruce's ability to seamlessly flow between offense and defense made him practically invincible. The trap and counter, controlling the fight. Bruce was not just a master of striking, he was a master of control. His trapping hands technique, influenced by Wing Chun, allowed him to tie up his opponent's arms, leaving them defenseless while he unleashed a barrage of strikes. The beauty of Bruce's trapping style was that it wasn't about brute strength. It was about leverage, angles, and timing. He could immobilize a stronger opponent with ease, leaving them exposed to his rapid counterattacks. Once he had you in his trap, it was game over. Bruce would follow up with precise punches, elbow strikes, or even a quick takedown, showing once again that he was the master of efficiency, using the least energy to achieve maximum damage. 7. The back fist, speed and deception. Another one of Bruce's iconic moves was the back fist, a quick, deceptive strike that left his opponents bewildered. Unlike a traditional punch, the back fist was launched from an unexpected angle, and Bruce's speed made it nearly impossible to see coming. He would throw this strike with such velocity that his opponents had little chance to block or counter. Bruce often used the back fist to disrupt his opponent's rhythm, quickly snapping it out and retreating just as fast. It was a perfect example of his philosophy of fighting without fighting, where he could damage his opponent without needing to engage in prolonged combat. 8. The straight blast, relentless aggression. When Bruce Lee decided to end a fight, he would unleash the straight blast. This move was pure aggression, a series of rapid, straight punches aimed directly at the opponent's center line. Bruce would charge forward, unleashing a flurry of punches so fast and precise that the opponent had no chance to defend. The straight blast was designed to overwhelm, delivering punch after punch with explosive speed and power. Bruce didn't give his opponents a moment to breathe, and the relentless nature of this attack often ended fights in seconds. It wasn't just about speed or power, it was about mental domination, breaking his opponent's will as he pressed forward without hesitation. 9. The Dragon Roar, psychological warfare. Bruce Lee wasn't just a physical force, he was a psychological one. One of his most underrated weapons was his ability to intimidate. In many of his most iconic fights, Bruce would let out a fierce yell, a dragon's roar, that seemed to shake his opponents to their core. This wasn't just for show. Bruce understood the power of psychological warfare. His signature yell, combined with his intense focus and unrelenting energy, created an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty for his opponents. Many fighters were already mentally defeated before Bruce even threw a punch, overwhelmed by his presence and the raw intensity he projected in the heat of battle. The philosophy behind the moves: be like water. Finally, we can't talk about Bruce Lee's techniques without mentioning the philosophy that guided them. Bruce famously said, "Be water, my friend." This meant that a fighter must be adaptable, flowing effortlessly between techniques and styles depending on the situation. Bruce didn't restrict himself to one martial art or one way of fighting. He combined the best elements of multiple disciplines, creating a fluid, ever-evolving fighting style that no one could predict. His adaptability, along with his focus on simplicity, directness, and effectiveness, made him a revolutionary force in the martial arts world. In every fight, Bruce embodied the essence of water. He could crash like a wave with overwhelming force or flow like a stream, effortlessly avoiding attacks and finding his opening. This philosophy wasn't just physical, it was mental, allowing Bruce to remain calm, focused, and adaptable in any situation. 11. The finger jab, swift and precise. Next up is Bruce Lee's infamous finger jab. While most fighters focused on punches, Bruce incorporated lightning-fast finger strikes that targeted the most vulnerable parts of his opponent, specifically the eyes and throat. The finger jab was designed to be a swift, incapacitating move that could stop an opponent dead in their tracks. Bruce's unparalleled speed allowed him to deliver this strike before his opponent could even react. This wasn't just a flashy technique, it was a testament to Bruce's philosophy of efficiency. His goal wasn't to prolong the fight, but to end it as quickly as possible. With the finger jab, he could instantly blind or disorient his opponent, giving him complete control of the fight. It was the ultimate expression of his philosophy to strike first, strike hard, and strike where it counts. 12. The Nunchaku Master, weapon of precision. Of course, no discussion of Bruce Lee would be complete without mentioning his mastery of nunchaku. Bruce's incredible skill with these traditional weapons was not only mesmerizing to watch, but also highly practical. In his hands, nunchaku became an extension of his body, used with breathtaking speed and accuracy. Bruce trained relentlessly with nunchaku, pushing his limits to ensure that every strike was executed with precision. Whether he was disarming an opponent or delivering a knockout blow, his nunchaku skills became legendary. His use of this weapon wasn't just for show. Bruce incorporated the same principles of timing, rhythm, and flow into his nunchaku work, making it a seamless part of his combat repertoire. The mental game. Mastering the mind. Beyond his physical abilities, Bruce Lee was also a master of the mental game. He believed that a fighter's most powerful weapon was the mind. Bruce trained not just his body, but also his focus, concentration, and awareness. He knew that to truly dominate in combat, one needed to be mentally sharper than the opponent. Bruce studied philosophy, psychology, and even hypnosis to deepen his understanding of how the mind works, particularly under pressure. He would meditate to sharpen his focus and practice mindfulness to remain calm and centered, even in the heat of battle. His mental discipline allowed him to remain one step ahead of his opponents, reading their movements and reacting with split-second precision. This mental edge, combined with his physical prowess, made Bruce virtually unbeatable. The flexibility factor, adapting to every situation. Another key to Bruce Lee's success was his unmatched flexibility, both physically and mentally. Physically, Bruce maintained an extraordinary level of flexibility, allowing him to deliver powerful strikes from seemingly impossible angles. Whether it was a high kick to the head or a quick maneuver to avoid an attack, his flexibility allowed him to move with ease and fluidity. But his flexibility wasn't just about his body. Mentally, Bruce was always adapting, never stuck in one mindset or technique. He would switch his approach mid-fight, adjusting his strategy to suit the situation. This flexibility came from his philosophy of Jeet Kune, where Bruce emphasized the importance of not being rigid, but rather flowing and adapting like water. His ability to change tactics on the fly kept his opponents constantly guessing, unable to anticipate his next move. 15. The mind-body connection, the art of total mastery. Bruce Lee wasn't just about brute strength, speed, or technique. He embodied the concept of total mastery over both mind and body. His training regimen was grueling, pushing both his mental and physical limits to the extreme. But Bruce knew that to reach his full potential, his mind and body had to work in perfect harmony. He trained relentlessly to ensure that every movement, every strike, was performed with the utmost precision and efficiency. His famous motto, "Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own," reflects this idea of continuous improvement and personal evolution. Bruce didn't just follow traditional martial arts blindly. He constantly refined his techniques, drawing from a wide range of disciplines to create a fighting style that was uniquely his. 16. The Dragon's legacy. More than just a fighter. Bruce Lee's impact extends far beyond his legendary moves in the ring or on the big screen. He was a visionary who reshaped how the world thought about martial arts, blending Eastern philosophy with Western pragmatism. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a philosopher, an innovator, and an inspiration to millions. Bruce broke down barriers, challenging racial stereotypes and reshaping how martial arts were portrayed in the West. His influence can be seen in everything from modern mixed martial arts, MMA, to self-improvement philosophies that emphasize balance between mind and body. Today, Bruce Lee's legacy continues to inspire not just fighters, but anyone striving to achieve greatness. He taught us that martial arts is more than a set of physical techniques. It's a way of life, a path to self-discovery and mastery.